Hi, welcome to Back to School Night from Math 7. My name is Amy Rodriguez, and let's begin. A little bit about me. This is my 25th year teaching. My husband is Phil Rodriguez. He teaches history here at Bristow. Some of your children may have him for history. And my daughter is Lily and Ella. They're 13 and 15. There's so many changes that are taking place as the kids are come back from distance learning that there are too many to list. So just keep those lines of communication open and let me know how things are going at home. Okay, let me start going over some of the things that I think would be useful for you. One of them is my staff web page. My staff web page is found at the Bristow website, and you would click on teachers, and this is where it would lead you to. This has my agendas for the day on it. When you click on that, this has what we are doing each day, along with a homework assignment listed, some copies of the notes that we took that day, and sometimes even a backup video, the learning target. And the other thing that is on that page that would be helpful for you is the overview of the whole year. So this right here is kind of an overview of what we will be doing for the whole year. I've put it all together we'll be starting the first 2 or 3 weeks in race and ratios. Here's the copy of those whole first or 2 weeks notes, and here are backup videos that can't say they're great, but they're at least better than nothing. Both of those things would be useful if your student isn't so hot at taking notes in class, or if your student isn't in class, whether they be on vacation or whether they be homesick for a couple days. Going back to our presentation, another thing you would want to know is that your student will be in this thing called their backpack from time to time. And there's a few icons that are particularly useful. This is Canvas, where I'll be staring assignments. This is their online textbook. This is a really good scientific calculator that they can use. And this is just some extra practice that we'll do in class, this last one. Kind of more of an independent learning quiz site. Every once in a while it's homework, but this right here is our real homework textbook. Okay, let's go ahead and look into Canvas a little bit. If you went here last year, you should be a little bit familiar with Canvas. And when the student clicks on the Canvas page, it's going to look like this. I'll go into student view. And this very top thing in Canvas is exactly what I showed you earlier. Those are my daily agendas, which a student is going to access if they're absent, whether they're sick or whether they're on vacation. And this again is those reference notes. Same thing, just in a different spot. These are my math policies that you signed. And then here is just kind of the chapters that we're going to be working through. We're, of course, right now in chapter 1. And the newest assignment actually goes to the bottom down here. So you can see they're all dated and it tells you how many points they're worth. So that's where your student can look if they've lost their worksheet or something. You could click on that. They're not turning it in here. This is just a backup resource if they've lost something, but they can go here to check their grades. Here's my pretend student. My pretend student is doing particularly well. If they want to kind of look and see how they're doing. They can also check their grade in Q. Let's go back to our presentation again. Q is still the main site where they should check their grades. Canvas is where I'll be putting the grades, but I will upload those grades from Canvas into Q. Parent Connect is what you should be looking at as a parent to check their grades. Those should be accurate. Help. Students are going to need help this year. We know that. Let me go ahead and move my picture down here. My days for math help this year are Wednesdays mornings from 7:30 to 8:15. They can get in through the gates. And also Tuesday afternoons from 3:15 to 4. If they have a quick question, they can drop by sometimes, but I often am in meetings before school and after school. So those are the two main times. This is the 45 minutes before school on Wednesday and 45 minutes after school on Tuesdays. Those are the main ones I'm sticking to. Otherwise, it's hit and miss on whether they'll find me in my classroom. This worksheet or this flyer of when all the help times are for our team is available in my classroom. Let's see here. Oops. Okay. Supplies. A calculator is nice, but not needed. And any scientific calculator is fine. I just Googled I just went onto Amazon and found one that said a scientific. Any scientific is fine. It should be somewhere between $10 and $13 for a decent scientific. If they're going to use their phone at home, this is the best one, the Desmos Scientific, not the graphing, the Desmos Scientific. That's an app they can put on their phone. They cannot use their phone during class time. So that would be if they're going to use it at home. A notebook in a folder or an accordion thing is very much needed. They're already getting a lot of worksheets and it's looking like a hot mess. So those accordion file folders are the best thing for them. They can have a spot for math, a spot for history, and they kind of open up and they take out the same thing in every period. Those things are wonderful. And it's nice if the kids can have an expo marker to write on their desk to do their warm-ups. It's not required, but it sure is nice. They wanted me to go over the pathways a little bit. This is the pathway that's probably the most common. Students are required to take 3 years of math in high school. So this 12th grade year is not really required. Next year, they'll be taking Math 8. Here's a little more accelerated option. They can take Algebra 1 and Geometry at the same time. They can take an Algebra 2 pre-calc combo class now too, so they can also kind of jumpstart those. So there's a lot of ways to accelerate through math nowadays. Pace that you want is your best pace. And we're nearing the end. Communication is the most important thing. You can message me in Canvas. Your student can message me in Canvas. And of course, you can always send me a parent email as well. I know that I went through a lot of information quickly. You can always go back and watch the video and pause it. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate you taking this time with me.